No human is born thinking I suck.
Right.
It's planted. And then he like gets in my face, like, don't lie to me, you punk. I know you're a racist. And starts swearing and all this stuff. I'm like, first like, wait, what is happening right now? This is ridiculous. First step is listening, so tell me the story.
What would you say to someone struggling with depression?
Tell me your story.
It could be anybody struggling with something from their past, a trauma of some sort.
But here's the thing, like I think the biggest, why I said that is because I think the first step is listening. You said, tell me something. What would you tell? I would listen.
Okay.
The first step is listening. So tell me the story. And then whatever it is, I'm looking for something that I can connect to, relate to. If worst case, it's just empathy. You know, I haven't lost a child. Like I can't necessarily, but I can sit there and be there with you while you're saying it. And what that does is create a connection. I want to create a space where they're comfortable opening up and sharing their story, even if it's not my story.
Okay.
Right? And then from there, I want to try to give them hope. And then from there, I need to believe in some hope. And then from there, we can get to tactics.
Okay. What does hope mean to you?
Just that where you are right now doesn't have to be where you end up. That you may not have chosen what you've been, your life right now, that circumstances have happened, that maybe you made past mistakes, but you did the best with what you had at the time. And so I think a lot of times it's just self-forgiveness, that I made wrong decisions, but it was the best that I could have done at the time. And I want a brighter future. I want something more than where I'm at right now, and that it's possible.
So you mentioned forgiveness.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that can't forgive something that somebody did to them?
I start from the place of, I think people are good. I think everybody's good. I think people are built to serve. And I think that person who harmed you, I would try to find something in them to show their pain, that this person was just really struggling, that the reason that they hurt you wasn't because of you, it was because something happened, struggle of pain in their life. That very few people, I think, are actually bad. Like 99.99999% of people are good. And that tiny like 0.00001 is they have like some brain, malfunction or chemical imbalance or something, right?
Okay.
So when I was in LA this year, my car was robbed, right? Giant SUV, suburban, trunk full of gear, all gone. I think the people who did that are good people. I wish they could come to my seminar and we can help them.
So what was your first instinct when you saw the car and there was no gear in it? What was your first thought?
What happened? I mean, we didn't even know. We got into the car. The first thing was we bought this bottle of Bailey's with a special like caramel in it or something.
Okay.
Anyway,
you got my attention.
yeah. So we get in the car, and I have this sticker on my steering wheel that says "breathe." It was my reminder to do my breathing every day. And at home I normally have it on the door, but this time I put it in my car so I remember because I'm not home for 90 days. And so on my sticker is a giant stain, like a drizzle or something, right? I'm like, what? That's the first thing I noticed, right? Like, what happened here? And ultimately, like, I think they tried the Baileys and it spilled and they kept it in the car. They didn't like it. So the only thing left in the car was this half-empty bottle of Bailey's caramel or something. But I'm like, why is this thing here? Because when you get into the car, you don't check the trunk. And then my wife, Nina, noticed that her cell phone charger was missing. We're trying to plug in a cell phone. There's no cell phone charger. And then we had a phone in the car, and like, my wallet was in the car. Oh, my wallet's gone. Like, and then like, holy cow, the whole trunk is empty. Right? Okay. And then you just go into fixing mode of, okay, what do we need? We had to go do a shoot, I think, the next day or that day with Tim Story, who's a pretty famous life coach, works with Kanye West and a bunch of other people, Oprah. And we're going to go interview him, and now we had like seriously down on our gear, so we had to go to a store and rent some gear for this one interview. And then like right into fixing it mode for today, and then right into now we still have another 2 months on this tour. What else are we going to do? But I'm great in a crisis. Like, crisis is good. But the only thing I feel for the people who did it is more empathy. Like, imagine being so desperate that you had to steal from somebody's car. And listen, who am I to judge? If I was hungry, I can't guarantee you I wouldn't steal an apple from like a cart because I'm starving, right? Yeah. I don't know what these guys are going through. Yeah. But I don't think that they meant to hurt people. I don't think they meant to hurt me, right? They even took my sign that says "Believe." We had this like pull-out sign, so like in my head, they've got this "Believe" poster hanging on the wall or something, right?
With all the equipment.
Hopefully that makes a change for them.
They're going to be a competition.
Right? Great, I love it. Bring it. You know how much I would love for those people like to then get on stage and say, "Yeah, we stole this from Evan's car, and then we turned our life around, and became speakers." That would be like the greatest highlight ever. So it's really just fixing the moment and understanding that these people didn't mean to hurt you. So something happened, somebody hurt you, awesome. But regardless, they hurt you once, and you're letting them hurt you every day because you're living in the trauma.
You're carrying it.
Yeah, you're carrying it. And I'll try to find what they want to, it's turning that pain into a purpose, right? Your purpose comes from your pain.
Yep.
So this thing that you struggled through, as you're getting through it, can actually serve other people who are exactly like you.
Higher purpose.
Yeah, and then that becomes a thing like, oh, like that's right. And it creates some hope.
So the biggest thing I took away from that is that all this gear was stolen, instead of getting angry, you said, you know what? I understand their world, what they're going through. You know, they needed it for some reason. They needed it more than me. And that's why you were okay with it.
The only thing that will get me like really angry is bad intent. But that's hard because I assume people don't have bad intent.
Right.
Like you could get up, punch me in the face and like choke me out, and I'll be like, Richie's having a bad day or something. Like what's...
Okay, tell me how you get there. If somebody's gonna punch me in the face, it's like...
No, it's like, what just happened? Dude, what? Like I think for me, I've trained myself that I'm used to taking heat, and I'm used to taking, by creating content, even though all my content is believe and powerful and positive, you'll still get people who don't agree with it. Like if somebody's anti-believe, they're in a really rough spot in their life, right? And so I've seen enough of it that I just default to thinking something's wrong with you if you're punching me out, right? I think it'd have to be like you want to punch my wife out or something. Like it'd have to be you body slam me into the floor or something. Then like I don't know how I would react to that.
I got this mental picture going on in my mind. It's like I'm gonna come in and body slam Evan.
Like I don't know how I would react to that. I don't know if I could say Richie's just having a bad day. I didn't have to.
I can promise you it won't happen.
So that would cause extra friction for me. But I think that it would have to be what would get me to react in a way that does not make me proud, right? It would have to be something crazy like that. But coming after me, I like it.
Okay.
Like my favorite is when people come after me because I see it as an opening. So let me tell you.
To serve them.
To serve, but for me to get better. So here's two quick examples. When I was on my tour, we were in Albuquerque, and the two people who gave me the biggest hassle were both millionaires. And they gave me the biggest, like, but what about this? What about this? What about this? Like, I love it. Bring it. Like, let's go. Because I know what, now if we're talking about something I don't know what I'm talking about, then that becomes an issue. But like, I love the challenge to then go deeper. Because then if you can answer their questions, that becomes the biggest unlock for them. Where if you just say something like, oh, yeah, they may not go off and take action. So I love, even when we came back here, I did a workshop in Toronto. I got more flack here in my city than I did when I left. We did a workshop here, a guy comes up in his chair and he's like itching, ready to go. Like, I got a question. Like you could tell, like, okay, great. What do you got, man? Why do you profile Jordan Belfort on your channel? That man is a criminal. I can't believe you profile him, right? Like, great, listen, I understand. I choose to learn from people who I may not agree with everything. For me, I have Jordan Belfort on because if you want to learn about persuasion, if you want to learn about selling, if you want to learn about influence, he's one of the best in the world to go and learn from. Now you use that to go make a positive impact. And I hope that if Jordan Belfort ripped off my mom in his scam that I would still have the humility to say, I want to learn from this guy, right? Then the next one right after says, I can't believe you only post positive content. That's unrealistic. You shouldn't only have uplifting content. You got to show the negative side too. I said, listen, awesome. I'm like, I think there's enough negativity in the world, but if you want to create a negative channel, like, do your thing. Go for it.
Go watch the news
Right?
if you want negativity.
Right, but I love the challenge, right? But here, that stuff is easy. Like that kind of challenge where it's verbal or stuff I've already thought through. It's easy, but I still like it's fun. Because then they say, oh, okay, that's a different perspective. And I can still respect your opinion. It's like, if you hate Jordan Bell for that reason, I respect you. You ask me why I do it, I'm not trying to convince you, but this is why I have him on my channel, right? I'm at the Tony Robbins conference in New Jersey. So he invites me down as his guest. And I'm with my friend Mark Drager, who you've met here. We're at a McDonald's. It's overrun with people everywhere. Like, you get out of the event, people are crashing in. It's a really poor neighborhood in New Jersey. And we ordered McDonald's and we're waiting for our food. And this guy comes up next. I'm just talking to Mark. This guy comes up next to me, and he says, "You're a racist." And then he gets in my face, like, "Don't lie to me, you punk. I know you're a racist." And starts swearing and all this stuff. I'm like, first, wait, what is happening right now? This is ridiculous. I'm trying to think, what did I even say that would even be close to, right?
Right?
I have no idea. And so I'm like, dude, did I offend you? Don't even try talking to me, man. I know you're a racist. Don't even look at me. Don't look at me. It's like, all right, man. And so my friend Mark is like,
I don't want any part of this.
yeah. But then here's what I did. So I talked to him a little bit, and it's like, it wasn't going anywhere. So then I look at my phone. I just started ignoring him. And I'm pissed that I ignored him.
Why?
Because I played small. Because I backed down from the challenge. Because I'm worried, maybe this guy's going to punch me out or grab a knife or something. I don't know. I don't know if he has some mental illness or he's or he thought I'm a racist from something. I don't know. But I'm pissed at myself that I didn't stay in the situation just to see where it led.
What if it led to a bad place?
I'd be pumped that I did it.
What if you ended up in the hospital?
Yeah, but what are the chances? We play in these what-if scenarios. What are the actual chances that this guy is going to pull out a knife and stab me in the heart, right? Pretty low. And even if he did, could I have run away or backed out or blocked it or kicked him in the nuts or
Blocked
something,
it with your Big Mac or whatever you had.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for my food. I got nothing yet. But what are the actual chances that my life was in danger? Tiny. And I'm pissed at myself that I didn't stay in that zone a little bit longer, just to see if I could. I don't want it. I'm not trying to attack. I'm trying to de-escalate the situation. But it's an unfamiliar territory, and I was scared, and I backed down, and I'm pissed at myself that I did that. Now, I still stayed longer than I normally would have, and I stayed longer than my friend did, but I wish I stayed a little bit longer.
You were hoping for a second chance.
Yeah, so it's in my head. The next time that I was again hanging out at New Jersey McDonald's, or similar scenario, right? I hope that I would stay a little bit longer. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I work in a lot of prisons.
Yeah.
And all these inmates have this limiting belief that when they get out, they'll never be able to be successful, just minimum wage jobs, and that's their life.
Yeah.
How can you empower them to change that mindset?
First, again, listen. Tell me your story. Tell me why you believe. Tell me why you're here. Tell me what you grew up with. Tell me, right? And then I would try to find out what their biggest pain is, and then say, it's like maybe their dad always beat them and told them they wouldn't be successful and all this stuff, and now they think it's like, that's just your dad's voice hitting you again. That's not your voice telling you you're not successful. When you say, I won't be successful, that's not your voice. That was put in you by somebody. But I don't know who that is without asking the story, right? So I'm trying to find out who that person is that had this negative influence on them that now they tell themselves and they think it's their voice. No human is born thinking I suck.
Right.
It's planted. So who planted that? And now let's work to kick them out of your head. Right?
Yeah.
And then I want to show them hope, find people who've done it. There's lots of people who've come out of the prison system and gone on and become entrepreneurs or done their own thing. So again, in listening to their story, If I'm you and I'm going into the prison system, I want to be armed with 800 different stories of people who've had success, and then find people who could most resonate, right?
So they can attach themselves to their story and say, hey, if he did that, I can do that.
Yeah. So like, I want to go off and be a chef. Great. Hey, did you know about so, right? He's got this fancy restaurant now in New York, but he went to jail for XYZ, right? And the more specific you can make it, it's like, oh, like it's possible. So giving them the hope. But it starts with listening, understanding it's not their voice that's telling them that they suck. And then showing them a path that just hope is a beautiful thing, man. Just believing that this doesn't have to be, even for like, all you need is a little, you plant that seed, because they're so certain that they're not going to be successful. They're so certain. And you plant that little seed of doubt that, maybe this plan, maybe I could actually change it.
And you're so true. I mean, because what they do, I see a lot of these people, they stack one problem on top of another, and they get to a point where it's overwhelmed, and they just want to look for an escape, and a lot of them turn to drugs, for instance. What do you say to them to keep them from stopping that stack? Because it's,
you go right down,
I lost my kids.
You go right down to the basics, right to the beginning of the story. Where did it start?
9 out of 10 times it starts with their parents and how they were raised.
Yeah, that's not your voice.
And then what they modeled.
Yeah. Even saying like that already will knock people, back in their chair. Saying, that's not your voice, that's your dad's voice still telling you that you suck. You don't think you suck.
It stops, they stop.
Yeah.
And they hear that,
and it's the absolute confidence. Because they're confident that they suck. You need to be more confident that they don't.
Right.
And whoever is more confident wins.
Wins.
And when you're so certain that they're awesome, then they start to question their own confidence in how much they suck. It's like, maybe I don't actually suck that much. And just that little seed, because you're only going in and spending a day with them or an hour doing your speech, just that little seed maybe leads them to a book, or maybe leads them to a video, or maybe leads them to sign up for a workshop, or maybe leads them to hit the gym, right? Like, plants a seed that then explodes. Yeah, and you can't do that every time with every audience, but that's the intention.
Yeah, incredible.
That's why I think if you could bring people up on stage and show me, take me through the process, bring an inmate up, and you give some context as to who you are, like how long do you have with them, an hour, 45 minutes?
An hour every week for months.
Oh, the same group?
Yeah.
Going back?
I do 12-week programs with them.
Oh, got it, okay, so bringing somebody up and then helping them see the like, oh, that's my dad's voice, oh, there is some hope, oh, like I can actually maybe make a change, then the people watching resonate with that inmate. It's one of them. It's like, if he can do it. The most powerful part of Tony Robbins' seminar, you got the jacket on, is his interventions.
Of course.
He brings somebody
My
up,
favorite part, yeah.
And then you see like, I'm just like that person.
And everybody sees that story and they can identify with something about themselves.
Yeah, that's me. Tony should do like half interventions.
I agree.
That should be the whole event.
Hear that, Tony?
Yeah, more interventions. It's the whole thing, right? That's the most important part. So forget Tony, right? You do interventions.
Yeah.
You shape people, you help them. That'll be the greatest gift more than any specific strategy or tactic or bit of motivation, because now you gave them actually something to think about. Because you're actually lighting up hope in one person's eyes, and then the others will see it and say, maybe me too.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
You know what I see is female are easier to have them question their beliefs than the males are. I don't know why that is. It's like, I talk to a lot of guys and they're just dead set in their beliefs and they can't change. However, the women are always have that, I don't know whether it's they're more emotional than the guys, or I don't know. I haven't been able to connect why that is.
And also, like, who's done more introspection and who's more self-aware, and if anybody's read anything on any kind of growth-related topic, I find myself always being, I imagine myself wearing their skin. So if it's a really tough guy, like if I'm sitting in the crowd, if you're like 300 pounds, tattooed all over your face, everything, and I believe in you, and I know that I have you, like I've asked the questions, we have rapport, I know where you need to go, and you're yelling, I'll yell in your face so hard, right? Like I'll come at you with the same energy, but with more confidence than you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then they'll listen.
They do.
But from the outside perspective, it's like, Jesus Christ, what is he doing, right?
Well, yeah.
They're like, is he not afraid for his life?
Well, that's, you know, I've been in the situations a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago. I was like, I pushed this kid. He was
Yeah.
23 years, thought he knew everything.
Yeah.
I pushed him so much.
Yeah.
He was tattooed all over his face and
Yeah.
head. But at the end, he thanked me. He says, wow.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talked to me like that.
Yeah.
And provided me with that hope that I needed
Yeah.
in life.
Some people you need to scream at, some people you need to hug.
Yeah.
Some people you need to just sit and listen to. And some people you can take further than others.
Yeah.
And so it's wearing their skin. Still bringing you, so it's not just being a chameleon, it's like I'm just gonna pretend I'm someone. It's still you, but you're wearing their skin and giving them what they need to get to the progress that they need.
Awesome.
So I love it. I love the fight. I love it's so easy for me to get there and get rage. Like, you want to go, let's go.
Yeah, you got to
Let's
join
go.
some
Bring it.
prison groups
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me.
no, I would. I love it just for the challenge, right?
It is. It's
let's
a challenge.
Go. Bring
you
it.
get locked in this cell, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
it's me and 15 other guys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And it's just, it's so, the adrenaline is pumping so much. It's like, how can I serve these men like
Yeah.
they've never been served before?
Yeah. Like, go to their territory
Yeah.
and show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's magical. You have all this mindfulness going on, and you're a great coach.
Okay.
How does that work in your personal life when you're talking to your wife?
So it's interesting. Alex helps me run this company, and we were talking about relationships, and he was questioning whether he wants to have somebody who he pushes or not. For me, it's not. I want Nina to be happy, and I want us to be happy. And the greatest thing about Nina is she always supports me. She knows I'm crazy, and I do crazy things, and I can just decide to shift it and go nuts on something.
They embrace our craziness.
And when I decide that something has to happen, it legit has to happen. Whether Nina's gonna help me or not, this has to happen. No question, like, I'm gonna make it happen, right? I love support, like, Richie, help me. No? Awesome, I'm gonna go do it, right? So thankfully Nina's like usually on board, like, yeah, okay, what are we gonna do? But I also I'm not with Nina because I need to make her a better person.
Good.
I get enough of that from the work that I'm doing.
Beautiful.
Whether she works with me now in my company, but for the most of our 80% of our relationship plus, she was working a job doing payroll. Like, hey, as long as you like it, you're happy, I'm pumped.
Yeah, thank you. You guys got an amazing relationship. You should be proud of that.
We still got work to do, but yes thank you.
We all do.
If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have two options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.